Hey everyone, Bo Martonic here with the East Meets West Hunt podcast, and I just wanted to give a quick rundown of the tent that I'm going to be using this year in the high country of Colorado, hunting mule deer for 12 to 14 days. So I am going with a floorless shelter, which is actually the Seek Outside Silex. And I opted to go with the inner nest, which is basically like a tub that doesn't make it necessarily floorless, but the combination of the two is still right just over 2 pounds with everything that I have here in this bag. So I already have the nest tied into the shelter itself, so I will kind of give you a rundown and show you how that's attached. But I have it set up so I can pack it in here and then lay it out, and everything's attached and ready to go. So when I'm setting this up, what I learned actually from one of the Seek Outside videos is I'm going to have it pinned down on this side with a stake, and I'm actually using these MSR stakes. They're big long ones. I'm not sure the exact name of them off the top of my head, but I like to use at least 2 of these in the tent. They're a little bit heavier than the normal ones that come with it, but in high winds and weather and everything, I like to know that that thing is not going anywhere during that time. So with the setup, I'm going to pull this tight straight across, and then I'm going to go back to this first guy out point, and that's actually where I'm going to put my stake at. So got that spot marked. Next, after I got the 2 end points in, I'm going to take the sides and I'm going to pull them somewhat tight and stake those out. One thing you want to be careful with is you want this to stay straight in a line, so I pulled it a little bit too tight there. Now at this point, I'm going to take the trekking poles, which I have these set at 130 centimeters. So, and actually just on the bottom one, and my top one I have just over. It's what I found a good height to keep it nice and solid, not any sag. So on this shelter, there's no zipper. There's just this little system. You pick up on it, open up the door. So after opening the door, you're going to take this little loop here, and I'm going to put the trekking pole with the handle up. You can do either way, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it that way. Goes right up in this little corner here. Move the stake in just slightly. Grab the other trekking pole, again 130 centimeters. So we have a nice tight bridge there going across the top. You want to make sure that stays pretty tight, and it looks like a pretty solid pitch all around. Might have to play with it a little bit with some of these ladder locks. You see I have a little bit more space on the ground. So the way these ladder locks are designed, you can pick up and tighten that down to get that bridge a little bit where you need it to be. Pretty tight. Let me give you a look inside at how the nest is set up. So just pull up on this, open up the doors. Got that tied into the trekking pole that runs here. I have it looped through on that side, creating a nice big bed space. So zippers like this inside, relatively big space, have room for all of your gear on the outside and out of the elements. Okay, so I wanted to point out that there's a lot of space underneath here, as you can see with the way I have it set up here currently. And a lot of that reasoning is because of me having the stakes up so high, not having them down. If I were to be able to pull those down a lot more, they would sit lower to the ground. And that's it, quick and easy, with the Seek Outside Silex set up and ready to head into the mountains. I'm getting my Seek Outside tent set up here, and it's the Silex. I've used their Cimarron on other hunts, but I was really looking forward to having more of a solo shelter, and I like having a nest with it. You can run it just as a tarp, but we're actually supposed to get some really bad rain tomorrow here, so probably spend a lot of time into it, and I'd rather be in a little bit of a bathtub design. Even though it's not a lot, it still helps you out a little bit as far as that goes with staying dry. Oh, this baby feels like she's gonna take some air. So I didn't get to use the Seek Outside Silex as much as I wanted to on that trip, but I did get to experience it through high winds and weather from the monsoon that we got in Colorado during the first few days of that trip. So you had sleet, hail, rain. It did well with condensation management. And probably the biggest thing that I like about this shelter and why I'll use it going forward is the fact that it's so lightweight, but it's spacious enough that you don't feel like you're in a coffin. I've tried a couple of other tents out and haven't had a whole lot of luck with it. But like I said, I've used the Cimarron for years for kind of a hot teepee tent and for multiple people going on hunts. So when I decided to pick up the Silex there, it was a no-brainer once I got to use it. If you like these videos, I have a whole lot more on my channel, and feel free to give it a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it.